Now it's a Friday evening. The holiday season has just begun. Your bags are packed, your children's summer break is on, your boss has approved your vacation time and your flight tickets are booked. There's practically nothing that could go wrong, you think. This is exactly what was going on in the minds of 300 passengers who chose the Vietjet flight for their next vacation. 300 people, kids, elderly, and even foreign nationals eagerly waited for the flight to take off at 11:30 p.m. last night. It's 8 p.m. today, and they are still at the airport. I'm about to share with you the story of a passenger who booked this particular flight to Bali for her family vacation after 5 long years. And understandably so, he's angry, he's horrified, and he's tired, and rightfully so. Pankaj Mohan spent 2 lakh rupees on just flights for him and his family of 4. In exchange, they were stranded in a hot aircraft with no food, no water, and no air conditioning for 6 hours. Pankaj Mohan says his daughter was crying. He had to rush her to a medical center. As a parent, the thought itself is frightening. And what did the airlines do? Nothing. They did absolutely nothing to soothe the anguished passengers. There was no one at the airport to relay information, answer their queries, or even render basic services. So the natural question then arises is why let the foreign airlines operate in India? If your airline is demonstrating utter irresponsibility, your crew is rude, you can't even provide water to your passengers, why should your license to operate in India not be cancelled? Sadly, this is not a one-off incident. I'll take you through other instances of the airline apathy that happened in a single day today. But before that, I'm being joined by Mr. Pankaj Mohan, who has been stranded at the Mumbai airport. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Mohan. What we want to ask you is about the Vietjet flight that you were going to take from Mumbai to Vietnam, which was scheduled at 11 o'clock last night, if I'm not mistaken. Could you tell us what exactly happened after you boarded your flight, which was supposed to take off at 11:30 p.m. last night?
Yeah, initially there was some problem with the air condition. Cooling was not there. We complained about that. They said we are working on that. After half an hour, they said some other technical problem. This way, they have taken around 2 to 3 hours. Every time they are saying 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We are just starting. We are just starting. Around 3 p.m., they are saying that flight may be cancelled because of technical problem. We have to wait for 15 minutes. After 45 minutes, around 3:45, they said we are ready to fly. We will start at 4:15. And we waited for 4:15, and at 4:45, 5 o'clock, they are saying, due to technical problem, we are cancelling the flight. In between, from 11 to 5, most of the time, AC was not working. No water was provided. When we requested for water, they said you have to pay for the water. When we have all shouted on them, then they give us a 200 ml water, one bottle for 200 passengers, not to all 300 passengers. After that, nothing was provided by them. Many of us had booked the food with them. We told them to at least you provide food to those people. They refused to give that also. Their behavior was very rude. They are just like that. We can't do anything. You have to suffer. And around 5, they said flight is cancelled. And for 1 hour, we asked them. We called the police also because nobody was listening us. We called the Mumbai police also. We requested them to arrange for alternative arrangement. But nobody was ready to help. Even airport authority, we called them. Airport manager, we called. Everyone is saying you talk to the airline people. And surprisingly, for Vietjet, not a single person was there in the Mumbai. They all are contract staff on some third-party payroll. They said we don't have any authority. I have to talk to the Vietnam office. No snacks was provided. No accommodation. I'm staying in Mumbai. That's why I'm at home now. I'm again going to the airport. Many people are still waiting at the airport, outside the airport. No support was provided by anyone there.
So are you aware that the authority personnel of Vietjet has issued a statement in which they have claimed that they have provided all assistance, all support to the passengers? Is that correct?
they said, you just cross the immigration, we will provide you with all the support, all the snacks, food will be supplied. After immigration, nothing was supplied to us. We have to take the luggage. We came out to some restaurant there. We have taken food there. Some media people was there. They have taken our interview there. There was no support from we requested them to provide some food. They said, we don't have money. Directly they said, we don't have money to spend.
I just want to understand how harrowing the experience was for you and 300 other passengers who boarded that particular aircraft. You were waiting there for more than 6 to 7 hours without any air conditioning, food or water.
See, all the kids was crying. Even my daughter was not well. I have to take her to the medical center at the T2 airport. She was crying. I have to use wheelchair from flight to the immigration center. No food, nothing was provided. Water was not there. Whatever water we have, that was also over. And we have to fight for everything there, from small thing like water also. All kids was crying. Some senior citizen was there. Some foreign nationals was there. No support was given by them.
Now, sir, we do understand how painful this entire experience must have been for you. They are promising you that the flight will take off, but you don't know what's going on to happen. What is the kind of action that you now want against the Vietjet airline authorities? Have you flown this particular airline before?
No, this was our first time experience. Our just one requirement is there, technical problem we can understand. But post technical problem, there must be some guidelines for the ground staff, how to handle the passenger. At least provide them, take care of them, provide them minimum water. If it's delayed by 4 or 5 hours, at least give them some snacks. Because we are not going with the snacks and all in the flight. We are totally dependent on the flight snacks and they are not providing anything. At least they take care of the passenger, provide them. We can understand technical problem, it's happened. But at least they can take care of the passenger, ask what problem they are facing. At least they can provide the water. For water, they can't ask money. At least give some snacks to them, take care of their health. If any emergency is there, they're planning to just you go cross the immigration so that we can go home. Their only target was to ensure that we are crossing the immigration so that their responsibility is over. They at least take care of all the passengers, their connecting flight. Nobody was there to listen to our problem. At least somebody, some senior person from the authority, not from the Vietjet, from the airport, Adani or anyone, must come and attend us. Nobody was ready to come. Even for immigration officer, they said we can't do anything. We are from immigration.
Now, this is not an Indian airline. Vietjet is not an Indian airline. Is there any message that you would want to send to the Indian authorities, to our civil aviation minister perhaps, regarding allowing such airlines to operate in India who are not responsible? You know, airlines that are not taking care of passengers and are making hundreds and hundreds of people, including children and senior citizens, suffer so much.
Yeah, at least one senior person from each airline must be present at the airport to take care of all this situation, who can come and meet us and discuss with us what is the problem. Like many foreign airlines, they don't have any representative in India. Forget about Mumbai airport or Delhi airport. They don't have any representative at any airport, even in India. They are totally dependent on third party. They are using the third party for the boarding pass and boarding time and all. There is no senior person, responsible person available at the airport. At least one responsible person must be present there.
Now, would you demand a cancellation of the license of such an airlines, Mr. Mohan?
We must cancel this type of airline where no representatives were available at the airport or in India. For everything they are saying, we are calling Vietnam office, we are calling Vietnam office.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mohan, for joining us here and sharing your ordeal with us over here at Mirror Now. And to discuss this further, I'm joined by our guests at this point in time at the Urban Debate. I'm joined by Mr. Sarosh Damania. Thank you so much for taking our time and joining us here at the Urban Debate. At the very outset, Mr. Damania, my first question to you would be, at the end of the day, it is the citizens who are at the receiving end, the passengers are at the receiving end. What are the rights of the passengers in a situation like this? Because rightfully so, we heard the harrowing experience of Mr. Pankaj Mohan, who now wants the cancellation of the license for such airlines who do not have a responsible staff available to even tend to the need and grievances of the passengers who are stranded.
To take things into place, the government has to step in. The aviation minister, the DGCA, have to take some steps to have these things rectified. There should be responsibility, accountability. Passengers cannot be stranded like this. Of course, there is law in place. There is civil aviation requirement which mandates that the passenger should be provided with water, refreshments in case there is a delay. But of course, as we have seen, the airline was in blatant violation of the regulations. They have not even offered water to the passengers. Passengers were made to sit in the aircraft without water, without refreshments, without air conditioner for more than 5 hours. Thereafter, offloaded from the aircraft, be present over there. No responsible persons from the airline to take care of the situation or to handle the grievances of the passenger. Of course, that has to be taken care of. So the aviation ministry, the DGCA, have to monitor the situation. Of course, being of banning the airline or airline not being operational, of course, that is a very long procedure. But I think DGCA should immediately launch a investigation into this incident. And of course, the responsible person or the responsible person of the airline should be held accountable for it. And passenger grievances, of course, passengers' grievances should be taken up. Passengers are supposed to be given an alternate flight. Otherwise, they are supposed to be given a refund. If the flight is going to be after 24 hours, they are supposed to be even given hotel accommodation. So, of course, nothing has been done by the airline as of now. So, of course, DGCA has to step in and has to see that the regulations which are in place are implemented forthwith and passenger grievances are resolved at the earliest.
Well, absolutely, Mr. Damania. You're making a strong point over there. You're, of course, saying that the DGCA should immediately order investigation and hold accountable the person responsible from Vietjet itself. But, you know, the airline brushes its hand off this entire episode by saying that they did the needful require and they had supported the passengers, which is contrary to the ordeal that the passengers have narrated. Given the situation then, what are the chances for the passengers to be able to get any compensation? Because although the compensation may not really match up to the kind of harrowing experience that they have gone through, the trauma that they have gone through, but could there be a room for compensation?
Of course, there has to be compensation. The passengers should be compensated. There is a Air Seva portal set up by the Ministry of Civil Aviation (DGCA), where of course passengers can file their grievances online. So the easiest way to file their grievances is through the portal which the DGCA has opened up online. So of course that is one of the ways. Of course, if that also doesn't work, other option which the consumer has or which the passengers have is
Sure, absolutely, Ms.
taken.
Damania. I will come back to you. I will have to interject at this point in time, although I will come back to you to make your point over there. As I'm also joined by my colleague from Delhi Airport right now. Shreya is joining me from the Delhi Airport. Shreya, good evening. Take us through what is the prevalent sentiment amongst the passengers at the Delhi Airport. What if they had to be subjected to an ordeal like that? Would they want the licenses of such an airline to still continue, that they should still be operational, or should there not be responsible staff available on ground to address the grievances of the passengers in a situation of a delay like this?
Right now I'm standing in Delhi airport, and following the incident that has happened today, the first delay and then cancellation of a flight by Vietjet Airline, I'll be joined by passenger from Delhi airport who will share with me their experience. So first I will come to you, sir. Have you ever had any such experience in the past where the flight was maybe delayed and then cancelled and you were stranded for long hours, especially without any help from the airline department?
So it hasn't happened with me, but uh, one such incident happened with my aunt. She was traveling from Delhi to Sydney, and her flight got delayed for 4 to 5 hours. And yes, the feeling was very unpleasant for her.
Okay, right. So with that, I will move on to my next question, and I would like to ask you that the passengers that were stranded in Mumbai today, they were actually tweeting out to the Civil Aviation Minister and to PM Modi asking to cancel the license of Vietjet Airways. So do you believe that license of these international airlines should be cancelled in India, especially when their staffs are not there in the ground to help people?
Definitely. Actually, when people are paying huge amount for their travel, then these type of incidents should be avoided. And to control this, then the government has to take strict action and cancel their license.
Right. So you have heard the sentiment of people from Delhi airport, and this is not the first time that this has happened, or not even the last time, because we have had flights being cancelled, but also by the British Airlines. So with that thought from Delhi airport, back to you.
Well, thank you, Shreya, for getting us those voices of the passengers and their opinion on what exactly would they want in a situation like this. But I'm also joined by my colleague Abhishek from the Mumbai airport. Well, Abhishek, good evening. Take us through the sentiment of the passengers at the Mumbai airport, because what would they want in a situation like this? Is the compensation enough? Do they want action against the airline like this? Or do they essentially want more sensitized and responsible staff available to hear them out?
Definitely, firstly, we are at the Mumbai airport, Mumbai International Airport. I would like my cameraman to show you, but they have not allowed us to be at the place where the passengers are coming out of arrival. They also didn't allow us to be at the pickup point where there is a number of passengers, but we have spoken to them. In fact, since morning, we are, continuously speaking to these passengers who have a harrowing experience from more than 19 hours, and at last at 8:30 their flight will be departing to Vietnam. And this is not one incident, definitely an international carrier is something that we are questioning right now, whether their licenses should be cancelled or not. But more primarily, these kind of situations are arising day in and day out in our country itself, because there are several airlines and the airline staff who are causing inconveniences to the passengers. At times we say the flight delay for more than 4 hours to 6 hours without any reasons given to the passengers. Then basic amenities are not there. Like we heard today, even the water supply to these passengers were not given, and that's the reason it was an emotional outburst, and passengers were shouting that these things are not being given to them. So definitely this is something from where all airlines, may it be international, domestic, or Indian Airlines, international airlines, they should take this and lesson and work more customer friendly. And these are the problems that are being constantly highlighted by Mirror now, especially reaching out to these customers, and these things should be taken up to the highest level of DGCA. This is not definitely the airline has issued the statement, but is it enough? Because we need to see the action coming from the DGCA, and definitely they should be accountable, because there were several passengers who had a connecting flight. There were several passengers who need to reach out to an event at a particular time. Doesn't that matter to them? So definitely just issuing a mere statement is not enough. DGCA should come into picture, take action against this international airlines, and as the chorus grows, definitely the license should be cancelled, is something which all the passengers are echoing, and that should happen. Back to you.
Well, absolutely, Abhishek. Thank you for joining us with all those details from the Mumbai airport. But let me go back to my colleague Shreya, who is joining me from the Delhi airport again. Well, Shreya, speak to a few other passengers over there. Well, we'll try to reconnect with my colleague Shreya from the Delhi airport. But in the meanwhile, we get you some more news as far as the aviation apathy is concerned. It was all